Hello, this is the Super Language Learner podcast, and I'm Aidan O'Rourke, tutor, linguist, YouTuber, and podcaster. In this edition, I'm going to talk about why you need to consume content in order to learn a language effectively. In traditional methods of language learning, exercises or tasks seem to take up a very large amount of time. So, for instance, filling in the correct form of the verb in a sentence, or maybe writing out a sentence in the correct order from a jumbled group of words. Maybe listening to a recording and saying, well, what time did he leave, or what time did she get off the train, things like that. Maybe doing a word search, one of the most educationally useless tasks anybody could do. Or maybe choosing between a correct and incorrect version of a sentence. I think that's a terrible type of exercise, and the reason is that in order to learn a language effectively, you need to learn from interesting and useful content, full of well-formed sentences, not badly formed ones. The level should be a little bit more difficult than your level. Let's say you understand 80% and 20% is new. Could be a bit more, could be a bit less. It's difficult to find this kind of material, especially at the lower level. I'm trying to produce it or curate it for my students. I'll explain more about that another time. By doing this, you are experiencing the language. Now, how you experience it, it doesn't matter. It could be through the listening medium or the written medium, or actually, it's best if everything is presented in both listening and reading format. And you can also use the video format, where you are listening, reading, if you've got the subtitles switched on, and you are watching as well, which helps you to understand what's happening. You can read the material aloud. That's such an important exercise, which I feel is often neglected in language courses. You can listen to the recording, pause and repeat directly after each sentence. That's an excellent exercise. What you're doing is developing your feel for the language. You're expanding your vocabulary. You can start to recognize the patterns of the language. That's to say, the grammar. But don't worry about grammar. You're also learning about the culture of the country where the language is spoken. But the problem is when people start to talk or write, they're worried about making mistakes. Don't worry if you're not getting it right all the time. That's impossible. Mistakes are the key to learning. Just focus on the content. Try to figure it out. And don't get upset if there are some things you don't understand. Just enjoy it and get used to it. Even if you only understand a little bit, it's still worthwhile. Students at all levels need to consume content, but many don't. Maybe they only do exercises, like Duolingo, or maybe they are not getting that wide range of material. When you consume food and drink, you extract the good bits, and that's how you maintain and nourish yourself. It's the same with language learning. You need to do it every day, and you need to try and surround yourself with the language. That's much easier nowadays than it used to be. There's such amazing technology available today. The smartphone is a fantastic device for language learning. So every day you should listen, read or watch in the language and enjoy it. Find out information through the language, for instance, by receiving notifications or maybe reading a social media channel. You don't have to post on it yourself. In this way, you'll build your knowledge, and then if you want to, you can supplement that with exercises like Duolingo, which I use. Why not do something in the language now? Find an article or something to listen to or a video to watch and just spend some time doing it. It could be 5 minutes, it could be longer. It could be once in the day or it could be more than once. If you get into the habit of consuming content every day, you will make progress in learning the language at whatever level you are at. So this podcast is posted on YouTube, so please subscribe to this channel, the AOR Languages channel. Like this video, comment if you have something to say, just to give me some feedback, and share with others you think might be interested. Please join me again in another edition of the Super Language Learner podcast soon.